All right, League and more, we are back again. Round one of the Intrust Super Cup is over and done with. Gavin Payne's to my right-hand side. We've got guests. We've got John Buchanan, the coach. We've also got Isaac Kaufman from the Meninga, Mark Lydon from also the Colts coach. And also we've got Nelly, the captain of the BHP Wynnum side, who had a trial game last weekend. They're all part of the show. And Gav, you're talking to a special guest as well?
Yeah, I got my nephew Aaron Payne, coach of the Blackhawks, to have a bit of a chat to in a little while.
All right, we'll be back with League and more with results, previews and reviews coming up very, very soon. All right, we are here with head coach of the Intrust Super Cup side, John Buchanan. JB, a tough evening here at Langlands on Saturday night against the Devils.
Definitely, mate. Far from the ideal start to the season for us. Full credit to North, so they were terrific. Controlled the ball a lot better than us and defended with a lot more resilience than we did.
All right, Reece Walsh is obviously a star of the future, a bit of a handful, but you're in the 22-10 at half time. What did you say in the break?
Yeah, I thought we were, even the first 35 minutes were pretty good. We, at 12-10, North's fielded a kick, a crossfield kick, attacking kick from us and went 100 metres, which is a massive turnaround in the game, and then went back-to-back, so scored again just before half-time, which was pretty critical. I think we went, from 12-10 to 22-10 down at half-time. So, yeah, tried to stay as positive as I could be. Look, we weren't great in the first half, but we were still in the scrap for the first 35 minutes. So, yeah, look, we wanted to control the ball really well at the start of the second half. That was the plan, but we didn't do that at all. I think we had 6 sets with the ball in the first 20 minutes of the second half and completed 2. Weight of possession just, cruelled us. We were our own worst enemy there with that. And then defensively, we just couldn't hold on. Yeah,
well, it's actually, I'll talk about Walsh. He scored a try either side of half-time, and it seems to be that 10 minutes either side of half-time. If you're not on your game, then they can punish you. That's what happened in that instance as well. So, and momentum was everything. They took it into the second half and away they went.
Yeah, I think if you can go set for set with any team, you're a chance. But, we gassed ourselves because we were coming up with errors early in the tackle count, and then defensively, eventually you're gonna fold. And a number of our tries that we leaked were really brittle. We brought a lot of that on ourselves leading up to that.
All right, you're up against the Blackhawks this weekend. They had a pretty big win over the Jets as well. Josh Chudley was outstanding, as with Cole Lay, but they're the usual bad guys that the Townsville side seem to rock out. So you've got to go up there. They're up against the Jets, but you guys will learn a lot from last weekend, and hopefully. It's probably the driest place on the planet at the moment. It might be a bit better than down here, but in the tropics it might be actually a bit drier for you. And I'm guessing you prefer the harder surface.
Yeah, look, we had a pretty good surface here the other night. We just weren't good enough. But no, we need a reaction out of our playing group because the standards that we've set as a club leading into this season, that was just not acceptable. So. Definitely needed a reaction from all of our playing group, and I'm confident we'll get one. We're playing another really good footy team, but that happens every week in this comp. So if you don't turn up, you're going to get what you deserve.
All right. Any injuries from last weekend?
No, we were fairly good actually. I think, nothing major, which is pleasing, but I'd like to see a lot more steel in our defence and.
So the tackling bags are going to cop it, are they?
No, I don't use tackling bags anymore. But
don't they?
Look, a lot of our stuff defensively, just some individuals were really poor. Okay. We were lacking a little bit, even just pressure under the ball, to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. So we'll be focusing on that.
And they're intelligent people, these footballers, aren't they? They don't need to be told the mistakes they made. They just got to be, how do you fix them? They're hurting.
Yeah.
They're kicking rocks, but they'll come out this week and train the house down before they take on the dreaded Blackhawks up there, mate. So, all right, JB, we'll let you go back and do the stuff, mate. What time's the kick-off up there?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock
on Saturday.
Okay. You go up and come back?
We're up that day and back on Sunday.
Okay, all right. We'll behave yourself Saturday night, mate.
Will do.
He's lying to me right there. Thanks, JB.
Thank you.
Okay, the BHP Women's Competition kicks off in a few weeks' time. A trial last weekend against the West Brisbane Panthers. Chanelle Kohika-Skipper, or Nelly, how did you go? You led at half-time and then the Panthers came back in the second half, but pre-game, excited?
Yeah, mate, it was pretty good. We did fall in the second half, but in saying that, it was just a great indicator for where we stand at half-time, where we need to go to from there.
Was a lot, as in pre-game, was a lot of enthusiasm, was a lot of adrenaline running around?
There was a lot of hype, there was a lot of energy going in towards the game.
Okay.
I think everyone had their own different mindset, different goals, went into for themselves. It's a trial, so I guess everything's all out for themselves. Yeah.
You led at half-time and then the Panthers rolled out a whole brand new unit, which is expected in trials.
Yeah.
Probably didn't quite adjust as well as you'd like to, but in saying that, positives that come out of the game?
Definitely. It was a good, there was a lot of opportunities out there on the field for us, which we needed to execute a bit more, but hey, we can work on that this week coming. We can also identify where our pros are on that one, so yeah.
So as I said, 8-4 at half-time. What did Velsey say at half-time?
I think he just told us what we needed to adjust from the first half. But in saying that, we did have a whole new second team come out with a different mindset. So they came out with different energy. They just,
Yeah, you'd have learned a lot from that because basically that will happen if you're coming up against a side that's actually had a pretty tough first half. More than likely, they're going to come out all guns blazing. So you've got to be prepared. It's an 80-minute or 60-minute game or whatever it is, or 70. You and I haven't quite worked out how long the games are yet, but I'm sure it's written down somewhere.
Exactly.
But this weekend you're up against Valleys, the new side in the competition, coached by Scott Prince, and obviously you've got Ali Briggish right at the front there. There's some big names there. It'll be an interesting clash, won't it?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
look forward to this?
Yeah, it'll be it's a good way to see the experience out on the field, play up against some big names. So it's a good opportunity for the girls to see what level standards they are at and how we will be at with them. So comparison kind of thing.
So that can be a little bit scary because you need to actually try and
nerve-wracking.
just don't use all your energy up against these. They are biggish names, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And we're looking for some new superstars tomorrow, like yourself and company.
Yeah.
Who you got as your biggest pests inside? You got a bit of a chatter in the club, in the dressing shed. It's a little bit noisy.
Yeah.
There you go.
So everyone, we have Dewey. Dewey, she's our hype, or Lucy, or we got young Jada, our under-19 skills. They come through with different energy. They just come from their own different level, and then all our girls just thrive off each other pretty much. You have your own girls that have their different way of pre-game or how they see things, but you definitely have your energetic ones.
Do they take it out on the field with the chat?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Definitely. It's those chatter ones that you need out there. It's really good. Yeah.
All right. Now, what about yourself? You got any superstitions before you run
out? Me, I just have to have a good dance, a good meal before I go out there.
All right then. Okay, well, good luck against Valleys this weekend. Hopefully, no injuries. That's the biggest thing we worry about in trials. So,
for
we've got to see the Brisbane Tigers out there. The BHP competition starts in a few weeks' time. All the best.
Awesome.
And you want to say hello to your brother down in Sydney, down in the third world?
Yeah, hi.
Doing a top down there with the gondolas and all the wet there. Nelly, thanks for your time on League and More, and we'll see you again in a few weeks' time. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Coach Mark Lydon. Gliddo, a good rollout against a very, very strong side in the Colts competition in the Winter Manly Seagulls last weekend.
Yeah, it was pleasing. Wynnum had a fairly very strong side out there in the first half, and I think Selwyn Cobbo played and Harrison Graham, so some guys that have got some fair footy in them, and I think it was 18-16 at half time, so it was a fair effort from our blokes, and I was pretty pleased with our attack, not so much with our defence. I thought we leaked a fair few points. I think the final result was, your guess is as good as mine, 46-32.
46-32, so you nearly had a point a minute, so it wasn't defence on both sides, it's pretty ordinary.
Yeah, it was, and I think with the new rule, the 6 again rule, it's similar to you go back when the NRL had their 20s in their national 20s, there's a lot of big scores, and these kids have got to learn to be a bit resilient.
Yep.
And at the moment, they're not. They're just jumping off because they're scared.
Yeah,
Big penalties away. So, but anyway, we'll get there.
All right, well, that's the key, isn't it? You're going to have to work on the defence, obviously, to shut down those 6 against as well. So, you obviously got enthusiasm with the Colts boys out there. So, like I said, a big scoreline, 46 points to 32. Any injuries from that one?
Oh, I got a couple of injuries early. I don't think they're anything major.
Okay.
I think Zach Croft got poked in the eye and it blew up, so we just poured him off. And,
Bit of Three Stooges stuff, yeah.
Yeah, something along them lines. And the other one was Bailey Bartley got a burner or a stinger, they call them these days, and it was just a precaution. We left him off as well. So
all right. Positives have come out of it, mate. Obviously, defence wasn't one of them. They'll be hitting the tackle. Apparently, we don't have tackling bags anymore. I've just been found out, which is breaking. How do you go defensively? Well, what are the skills now to try and rectify last week?
I think our first up contact needs to be a lot better, and also we need to start putting our bodies in front. At the moment, we're a little bit to the side.
Yep.
I think if we can get that right, we'll be a dangerous footy side.
So you winning the wrestle?
Oh, look, it's hard. The wrestle's sort of gone out of it a bit with the way the rules are at the moment.
Like you said, they're jumping off, aren't they?
They're just jumping off because they're scared. So if we can get our first up contact right and hitting and sticking, I think we'll be all right.
All right. Now, who you got this weekend, mate?
We got Redcliffe, who I don't know a lot about Reddy, but I'm hearing they're the benchmark at the moment. They've got a few Warrior boys there, so it's always a good tussle between East and Redcliffe, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Not losing any sleep, mate. You still got your boyish good looks, mate.
Well,
just have a look at his face now, and then in 8 months' time, let's see how it looks.
Grey and bald.
Exactly right. So yeah, you and JB. Just quickly on JB. I don't think I've seen anybody use a vacuum cleaner like JB. He's very good with it, isn't he?
A vacuum cleaner. I actually did catch him vacuuming in the sheds out the other day, and last Friday he was busy, so I had to do it. I hope my wife's not watching this because I don't do it at home.
Right. You do know you've got to make a noise for it to work. But anyway, that's something to work out later. Glenn, all the best weekend, mate. Let's have no injuries and on and upwards. Good win again last weekend against the Winnemanny Seagulls. So up against the Dolphins this week. What time?
Oh, I don't know yet, to be honest.
Okay,
I wouldn't have a clue.
All right, just check your local guides. All right, good. Thanks, mate. Okay, we're with the Meninga coach for the East Tigers, Isaac Kaufman. Made a tough afternoon against the Seagulls. Points don't really matter that much in a trial game, but tell us about how the game unfolded for you.
We scored first, which was promising signs because we've had a few games so far, and but then just let in an easy try, and then we sort of same old story for us so far. We're just making too many mistakes, and then giving penalties on the back of that. So just got to get a little bit smarter there.
So you're using the 6 again rule as well?
No, not in the 18s. No,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. 22 points to 4 at half time. What did you say of the Chargers? Obviously down by 18.
Just sort of challenge them to sort of work as a team there and just cut out the errors. Just try and play a little bit smarter and field possession. I think when we were down their end, we created opportunities. So just trying to play smarter.
All right. Some positives come out of it?
There was a few good performances. I thought our forwards are actually starting to gel a bit and work as a bit of a unit there. So just need to try and gel as a whole team. I don't think we've gotten there yet as a team. So
how close are you to your top 17 selection wise?
We're already halfway through with our comp. So we've sort of
you haven't lost too many. You're still rolling out your top 17
at this stage.
Okay. All right. So lost to bounce back from this weekend. Who you got?
Back into Redcliffe. So we played them 3 weeks ago. So we're back into them. They that was a tough game. Also had a loss there. So we're looking to obviously we know how they play now. So and just looking to come with a better attitude. We're at home, so looking to put in a good performance.
All right, let's talk about yourself, Isaac. Mate, you are coaching 18-year-olds, girls, pimples, cars, music, TikTok, you name it.
Nah,
mate, how do you go with that lot? You're not on TikTok, but how do they go?
I'm not. They do. Yeah, just gotta probably let them do their thing there. But I suppose still same old values of footy. Respect and hard work. Trying to instill that, hopefully. yeah, that's all you can do. But yeah, definitely different to when I played, that's for sure.
All right, yeah. Except for the girls bit. Just quickly, yourself coaching, why coaching? Why would you take on a gig as a coach? You've just got to be, I mean, you look pretty good at the moment, but
Yeah, there's a few guys.
You look at John Buchanan, he's actually only 28, but he looks like he's 48, so because of coaching. Why'd you get into coaching?
I just love the game, I suppose. Yeah, it's sort of what I've always done since 5-year-old, so just, can't play anymore. Well, probably can, but not looking forward to pulling up sore, so just looking to, stay involved in the game, and that's one way to sort of keep me involved.
Well, you're right on the sidelines, aren't you? So Isaac, he's the coach of the Meninga side. They're up against the Redcliffe this weekend, so hopefully they can turn the tables after last weekend. But good sides respond after a loss, and I'm sure that's what the boys will do.
Yeah, that's what we're planning to do.
All right, we're with COD legend Gavin Payne. Round 1 of the Intrust Super Cup. Finally, the footy is back, mate, last weekend.
Yep.
Round 1. Some interesting results in round 1. Obviously, a big win for the Townsville side over the Jets.
Yep.
Redcliffe pushed by Mackay, but when you play at Mackay, it's always been a tough ask, even when Kim Williams was coaching their way back when. 2 points, they got away with it at Redcliffe.
Yep.
Burley getting rolled by South in the mud at Davies Park. But the big talking point, obviously, between the Tigers and the Devils, and well, the Devils just came out with a bit more punch, didn't they?
Yeah, look, they did, John. It was an interesting game. You know, I think he scored. Well, I know he scored first from a little bit of a bat back, a short dropout, and so forth. And I've got away to a really good start. But from there, it was all the Devils. And I think 22-10 at half time, and it was going to take a fair bit for the Tigers to get back into it. And unfortunately, they couldn't do it.
I spoke to John Buchanan about the fact that that 10 minutes either side of half time can kill you. That 20 minutes. Reece Walsh scores in that particular time. I think there was one other try as well. And that really took the wind out of the sails going into the sheds, and then they were full of hype coming out. And it's really hard to bounce back when you leap 2 back-to-back tries.
Look, it is, and they were relatively soft tries as well.
Yeah.
You know, I had a look at the highlights and so forth in the game, and it was probably 3 or 4 tries that were either one direct from dummy half, and I think 3 others were one pass off the ruck. So, you know, that middle defence that East wouldn't be very happy with. I'm sure John would have mentioned that in the conversation that you had, and it's something that they've seriously got to look at.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Blackhawks this weekend, as I said, big score against the Ipswich Jets. They've got Josh Chudley, Cole Laybut, the usual bad guys up there. So have they bounced back against a side that's brimming with a big win? They sit on top of the table because of for and against. So there's some of the highlights from last weekend's game against the Devils. But how do they come back against Townsville?
Yeah, look, you know, clearly they've got to tighten up their middle defence. That's the first thing I think that John will be working on and having a look at and showing the boys. And I think they'll know it. You know, they're all professionals in the game, and they'll realise that they were deficient around that centre area. You know, the second thing I think they need to do is reduce their missed tackles. Obviously, that comes with a loss as you're on the back pedal all the time, and the possession potentially is not going your way with them scoring tries and getting the ball back. So something like 37 missed tackles, which is not acceptable. And you know, their possession as well was, I think they were around about the 64, 65%. So, you know, in this league, I think you probably need to be up around the 70, 75%. So 2 or 3 things to work on. No big trouble so early in the season, obviously, but it's something that you wouldn't want to continue on for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to find some form in players when it's a disjointed effort like that, isn't it? So you can't really go dropping players. I mean, it is only round 1. I mean, it's not the NRL where they call it the Kiwis never read, but it is round 1, and Townsville will be a tough ask. Travel-wise, they're going up that morning to play in the afternoon. I know back when you were playing, you didn't have to travel as far, but it's interesting. Some clubs actually like to fly up the night before, so they get settled, wake up in a bed, and get started. What do you make of going up and playing that evening in Townsville?
Yeah, look, it has its pluses and minuses, I suppose. I'd probably prefer, if I was coaching or playing, I think I'd prefer to go up the night before and have that sleep, even though it's in a different bed, which can cause you a bit of discomfort or unusual circumstances. But, you know, it's just... I think it's too much in the one day. You know, you're up early, you're on a flight, the flight can tire you, you try and have a rest. You know, you're out of your routine, I suppose. And I know routines are different with the Queensland Cup these days and the Intrust Super Cup because of the nature of the travel that they have to do. In the good old days, that wasn't the case. And the furthest we went was Ipswich and sometimes Toowoomba, so that was not so much of an issue. But yeah, it's certainly be tough to do that indeed.
All right. On League and More with Gavin Payne. Gavin, the standouts from you from the highlights limited, what you did see, the positives coming out of that game?
For the Tigers, you know, I thought their kicking game was okay. I think it can certainly improve. You know, on the left edge there, what's his name? Had a good game. Brendan Fry. He looked like he had a reasonable sort of a game as well. But you know, it's probably hard to pick someone out, particularly with that sort of scoreline. You're really looking for everybody to improve.
All right, well, it's up against the Townsville Blackhawks, 4 o'clock. It'll be on Saturday afternoon. A couple of mixed results in the lower grades as well. So need to improve. The women's competition doesn't start for a little while at the moment, but we're in the middle of Meninga and Colts. So hopefully some of those Colts players, they'll be pushing the Cup boys if they don't perform to step up.
Yeah, certainly. You know, and the difficulty again with the feeder clubs is I think he's had something like eight players coming back from Melbourne. So, you know, you're never sure how many are going to get 2, 3 or 8 back, and that disrupts the build-up that the Tigers have had as well. Common these days, so it's got to be accepted, and everybody, most of the teams have to do it. So it's just that situation.
All right, mate. Tipping time for you. I'm going to see what you think after the round one. It's going to be a bit tough. Burleigh up against the Cutters. That's at home.
I think Burleigh will bounce back. I think they're too good a team not to.
All right then. PNG are up against the Jets. Now, if you're going to go and watch that game, make sure you don't need any red cordial because it's just end-to-end stuff. That'll be exciting. I hate to be the referee.
Look, PNG, yes, indeed, it'll be busy.
Yeah, look, 6 to go. Holy smokes!
You know, PNG seemed to have a pretty good match in the first round. I know their coach I coached with him down here in the younger days, in the early days, in under 20s and so forth. So I had a chat with him the other day, and he's looking forward to the season, and he's pretty confident they'll go well.
Yeah, they came back in the second half against the Women Seagulls in the mud down there. Central Queensland up against the Pride. Pride had a good win, for some to say, against the Sunshine Coast Falcons by 28 points to 12. But they'll be up against the Capras.
CQ traditionally aren't a strong side. They had a good game on the weekend. I just think the Pride can be a bit hit and miss as well in past seasons. You know, they won the comp, and certainly last year they weren't up there amongst the better sides, but it appears as though from one game anyway that they will be amongst the race to be up there. From
what you saw with North, they're up against Redcliffe. Redcliffe, a couple of years ago, if you remember, after winning the grand final, they won from 10, I think they started their season off, and that Mog got them back with a wet sail. Obviously, shutting out Mackay only by 2 points in the end there, so Moggy will have them up for this game against the Devils. This should be an absolute beauty, match of the round.
Should be a cracker. You know, again, Redcliffe travel, I'm not sure what their travel arrangements were to get to Mackay, so again, without making excuses because they all have to do it.
Yep.
But, you know, Redcliffe are just so strong all the time, and I'd be surprised if they lose back-to-back games.
Right, the Flockbusters between Wynnum and Tweed, they had a trial game where Tweed came back from a 22-0 drubbing in the first 30 minutes, and they came back to win that one. Game was cut short because of somebody broke their hip or dislocated hip. You probably got to stop those trial games when that sort of thing happens. But they're up against Tweed again. This is at Iona College, mind you, so interesting surroundings over there. So Wynnum with a win, and what do you think?
I think I sort of tend to lean towards Wynnum again, you know, just from previous seasons and with not much to go on other than that, and one game this year, obviously. I just think, again, Wynnum always strong, always there or thereabouts, so I just think they might get away with this one.
Right, the Tweed had a good win against the Capras, 28 points to 18, Ben Wolf and the boys. So it should be a good afternoon down at Iona College. If in the area, go and see that one. The match of the round obviously is going to be Redcliffe and North, and our boys will be up in Townsville taking on the Blackhawks, and fingers crossed they can turn the tables, Gav.
Yeah, it'll be tough, but fingers crossed.
All right, mate, thanks for your time, Gav, and there you go, round one is the top of the table, the Blackhawks, Devils, Pride, Magpies and Seagulls. Winner Manly in the top 6, I think it's the top 8 again this season, and the Dolphins in the Cutters. So as you said, early days yet, but the for and against is obviously the reason. The Hunters, Capras, Bears, Falcons and Tigers, and the Jets down the bottom. But the Jets, as we know, never turn your back on that bunch. It's crazy. Kieran Land will be having a great time. So that'll be another game and a half. Gav, just quickly again, you have got a reunion coming up soon?
In about 4 weeks' time. We're on the Anzac Day long weekend. We've got Got a few
How's
old
that
boys
looking?
getting together. I think I've got all the players there. The only absentee from the playing and coaching and the administrative staff is Shane Richardson. He can't make it, unfortunately, old Richo. But, you know, Langy's keen and all the rest of the boys are really, I think they're going on a beer diet for the moment, and we might make the most of it when we get back down here on the Anzac weekend.
You reckon there's dark clouds around here at the moment, waiting for this bunch to get together? That is the reunion of the 91 side that won the grand final for the last time in the Intrust Super Cup, Q Cup. Gav, all the best, and we'll talk to you again next week, mate.
Thanks, John. Will do. I'm here with Aaron Payne, Townsville Blackhawks coach. Aaron, 12 months off the footy field, and it's good to be back again. How did you spend that time?
Yeah, it is good. A bit like everyone, I guess. It's great that footy's back. You know, we were starved of it at that level, at Queensland Cup level. And yeah, look, when COVID first happened and the season was shut down, I actually jumped on the tools and worked for Wilmar up here in North Queensland, a good sugar company. And as a navvy, I never even heard what a navvy was. But yeah, no, so I did that for a while, and then obviously received the call to head over to the Cowboys and as an assistant there, and thoroughly enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, well, you've been around the traps for a fair while now, both playing and coaching with the Cowboys and now with the Blackhawks in your second season, full season now. What's your thoughts on the season? What are you looking for? Obviously, finals football.
Yeah, look, we obviously 2019. You know, we had a successful season. You know, we fell one short of the grand final. We you know, we knocked off Sunny Coast and came home and played Wynnum to go into the grand final. And you know, it was our worst game of the season. You know, every stat indicated that, and it was really disappointing because we had a really good group of players and a really good you know, feeling amongst the group that we could win it. You know, so for us, Uncle Gavin, like obviously not putting the cart before the horse, but you know, I suppose we're like everyone. You know, we've got a taste of it. We know we can compete at that level, and you know, we're the same as everyone. We want to win the competition, but it started, I guess, last week, and it is that sort of one game at a time, and we've sort of broken our season up into smaller blocks, and that's sort of our shorter term goals, to then hopefully to achieve the big goal of winning the Premiership.
Well, after that one game, obviously a comprehensive victory over the Ipswich Jets. I had a look at the game, just some very brief highlights of the match. It looked like you were really quite strong and going direct at them up the middle.
Yeah, we were. That was a bit of our mentality. We didn't want to sort of fall into their sideward sort of touch football, call it, style of play. You know, and our strength was our big guys. So we wanted to play to those strengths, and I thought we executed our game plan really well. You know, and we did it for large parts of the game, which is really pleasing considering this time of the year. You know, you'd be forgiven for not being, you know, for I guess being a little bit rusty. But I thought we were really good for large parts of the game, which is really pleasing. But we're not getting carried away. It is round one, and I guess the challenge for us now is to develop some consistency. You know, we sort of set our standards, and now it's up to us to, I guess, like I said, do that week in, week out.
Yeah, mate, just had, again, from those highlights, your little hooker, I think he is, Josh Chudley, scored 3 tries. Who else were your standouts?
Yeah, I thought Jordan Kenworthy was really good as well. He came up with some really nice offloads and created some second phase play for us and was strong defensively. Like it is, when you have a game like that, it is really hard to single guys out. But as I said, I thought, you know, all of our big guys were really strong through the middle. You know, and as we said, that was the way we wanted to play. So, yeah, that were probably the 2 standouts, though, was Josh Chudley and Jordan Kenworthy. And, you know, they were backed up by the rest of the forward pack.
Yeah, the Intrust Super Cup these days, mate, as just moving on to a slightly different topic. Obviously, a lot of affiliations. Obviously, you're affiliated with the Cowboys up there. You get some players back that have got good, big NRL experience. You know, I'm talking about in your outside backs players like Fifi Law and Hoffman and also Justin O'Neill. I mean, that must be a huge advantage for you.
Yeah, look, so those guys are contracted to us, other than Justin O'Neill. He's the only, him and young Dejan Assi and young Griffin Neem, they were the only allocation players that came back to us. The rest of them are contracted to us. So I guess from my point of view, the thing that I'm, I guess, lucky, call it lucky or grateful for, is that we've recruited or retained a spine that are with us all the time, which is a massive asset.
Yep.
You know, when you're getting, I think, at Q Cup level, when you're getting halves or hookers, fullbacks coming back for your allocation, that can be the part that can be really tough. And I think that's the advantage we've got, is that my spine are with me all during the week. And you know, the guys that are coming back are, you know, might be middles or might be edge blokes. You know, that transition is easier for them as there's, you know, they're under less responsibility. So I think that's certainly an asset that we've got. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, that's very good. So with those players, how do you see the game sort of moving on to the East game this week? I suppose we've talked about the past. Let's talk about the future. What are you looking for from the team? Again, probably pretty much exactly the same, but it's a different role. Have you had a chance to have a look at the Tigers game against the North Devils yet?
No, I haven't. I've just downloaded the game actually from the weekend, so I'll have to start having a look at it tonight and tomorrow. And along with Pup Shepherd and Christian Quabba, our assistants, we'll come up with a bit of a game plan. I can't, even though you're my uncle, mate, I can't give it away to you what we're going to do this week. But no, look.
Of course you can.
Yeah, no, it's a secret safe with you. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, look, I've got to have a look first, and I don't see straight off the bat a great reason to change what was successful. But it's certainly, you know, we'll have a look at East game and come up with, I guess, a bit of a plan of attack.
Well, it's one of those things, Aaron. If it's been successful for you, as long as it continues to be successful, why do you go away from it?
That's correct. That's correct. I know probably our outside backs won't agree because they didn't get on the scorers list like our forwards did on the weekend, so they're probably a little bit envious. But no, yeah, no, we'll play to our strengths and we'll have a look and see where we think we can expose East. But look, obviously, I think the biggest thing, that the message I'm already driving to the players is what a successful club East are, and you know, the fact that they got a quality list. And I know what it's like when you know, I know it's only one loss, but when you had a loss like that, you know, your backs are against the wall. There's only one way you react, and that's to come out fighting, and they're a quality side. So I wouldn't think that they'd be. I certainly think they'll improve a hell of a lot from last weekend. So there would certainly be no complacency from our end.
Yeah, mate. Also, you were away last week. Your first home game this week. You generally draw a pretty good crowd, and I believe the Cowboys are in town as well on Sunday. So you're looking for some good support up there.
Yeah, we are. We're really excited, Gav. We've done some renovations up here at our home ground at Jack Mansky, and that coupled with last year and not getting to play a game here, and I guess just, you know, we've always had really good support here as well. So Cowboys game, as you said, on the same weekend on a different day. We'll get a lot of out-of-towners coming in as well. So look, we're expecting a really big crowd, and like I'd be surprised if we didn't get 3,000 or 4,000 here, and that's the sort of support we've got, which is fantastic. You know, I know the players really thrive off that sort of support.
Yeah, look, Aaron, indeed, congratulations on the win last week. Good luck this week, but not too much good luck. You don't need too much luck if you've got your team playing that well so early in the season. So, you know, thanks for having a chat to us here, and we look forward to catching up at some stage when you're next down in Brisbane. We'll have a look. I'll get out to a couple of games and see how you're going.
No worries. Thanks a lot for having me, Gav.
All right, cool. See you, mate. Bye.